Hello, everyone, and welcome. First of all, I'd like to thank you very much for your patience in the issues that we currently were having, just a little bit of technical problems. We are underway with match 2 of McBain versus Rhybon. First thing I want to say again is welcome to everybody for watching us here on Frame 3. And again, big shout outs to BK here, who's going to be my co-commentator. My name is Dathis. I'm one of your commentators. We have Esgrunt here as your tracker. I'm honestly already here for vanilla, and we have Scholar Kitty stepping in for restream again. Glad we can get things taken out. Looks like the very quick start off, we have a vanilla demist, we have an adamant to start. BK, what else do you see very interesting on this screen?
We got Edge with Iridia. I'm all for it. Let Rydia do Bahamut things. If we can find a Bahamut summon, finding that Demus though, Rhybon right out of the gate, gonna get this item. With the no free key item on, we've got to run back into the Mist Town. Talk to Rydia's mom, who's just out getting some sun. We got a Rat Tail too. We know we're gonna get a hook early on. This is gonna be something, depending on who our other characters are, which we haven't seen anybody yet other than whoever McBain found on Watery Pass.
Yeah, that's again, the other bosses that we see going on are going to be the big things. And again, we got a little bit of shopping and a little bit of looting going on both sides. McBain going to give us a look at our first of other characters, more vanilla in that of Edward here. I'm man, we've got everything we could really ask for. We got some vanilla, we got some looting, and just a good time.
Yeah, and with Highway to the Zemus Zone 5, we are in the Red Moon. We've got 8 bosses on the table. It's a bit more of a curated list, and it looks like McBain and Rhybon have hit the lottery again. They got the 1% Water Hag as a required boss. We've got Yang in the Waterway as well.
Yeah, and honestly, this is exactly what you'd really look for a team here. We're mostly just looking for yet another healer or something to really complement the rest of this team. Healer or a healer or a Tella who could kind of work in a pinch, and really utilizing Asura to basically be that other pseudo healer. Some of the trap chests here we have in Antline, not coming up anything too crazy, but we still have possibility of loot elsewhere.
Yeah, this early loot, this party, Edge is going to take care of most of the overworld right off the bat for our runners. He comes fully equipped with his vanilla gear. So we getting quarter leg or full leg? Full leg here in the Antline Cave. It looks like McBain didn't even want that Yang.
That is interesting. The fact that kind of passing over the young right now, maybe holding on to him for later. Who knows? But again, Yang's one of the ones that requires nothing but XP, so you kind of want him to be going here. But either way, this is a great team to start. The Dancing Dagger is basically where all your early game damage is, and Luca Key. I'm great here for it. I love the Luca checks. I love the cheeky checks just in general. So seeing that early on is kind of what you're asking for.
Yeah, and I don't know where McBain picked up that exit, but that is a nice thing to have going in here. If Rhybon doesn't have that exit, he's going to lose a little bit of time having to walk this Luca Key out because you do not want to leave it down there.
No, absolutely. It's you're kind of wanting to keep as many key items as possible because again, all the bosses that we need to find, especially with the fact that, as we mentioned, Rhybon and McBain rolling that 1% yet again with Water Hag. This is their game too, as you can see here with McBain having the one loss to Rhybon. They did have the option of yet another Water Hag there, so that is what I think is kind of the most interesting.
Yeah, and this is a best 2 out of 3. So if Rhybon wins this matchup, he will move on in the waning round of the tournament. There's a Sid waiting for some Mysidia, and McBain would move down to the waxing side, unless I got that completely. I did get a mess up. Waning
Backwards.
side. Yeah.
Strike that. Reverse it.
So McBain is playing to stay here in the waxing side of the moon, and is hoping to be able to move forward, having to need 2 wins now to be able to keep going.
Absolutely. And yeah, playing from behind like this, you got to wonder, are we going to see a little bit more, maybe some cheeky plays? Are we going to see him maybe try and, out foot race? There's so many different options here. And when you're in a place like this, it's really interesting to see where your mentality is going to be and where you're going to be coming from. But the big thing is we see runners kind of converging here in Mysidia, getting the white mage we see in Porum, who has had a lot of back and forth as a, oh, she's one of the worst white mages, to, oh, she is the best, she's the better white mage. Because I'm not going to say anything bad about the Bay that is Rosa, but I haven't seen Rosa dodge as many rocks as we've seen Porum in this tournament so far.
Absolutely not. But, let's not discount, honestly, the third best white mage in the group already was Sid in a stack of Cure 3s.
This is very true. We have two characters that have buckets of HP. We have one that is a decent amount of damage. We have Edward, and we have Rydia. So we have a very interesting team. I almost foresee poor Eddie here being dropped off depending on what we have here. It's going to be... and that's Rosa. Yeah, we have double white
Wow.
mages here. I mean, you kind of keep it. You keep Sid as your anchor.
Yeah, and that's gonna play really interesting because McBain was actually putting Rydia down for those earlier fights. So now do you pivot if you're McBain to that Sid anchor and start getting those levels on Rydia, because now you're looking at reflex strats.
If not pure reflex strats, then pseudo reflex strats at this point. You got double white, you've got nuke, you've got a required boss on Hobbs. He just decided he wanted to make his way down. Instead of going and attacking the good people in Mysidia, he is attacking the good people on their way down from proving themselves to be paladins. This is a place where you'd like to see Pain Man, or as we like to call him here, Tickle Man. 22 damage, nothing really to talk about.
Yeah, even Porum will get through this. Probably going to try and get Rydia here, get those levels up, so that she can start getting that XP. I was just immediately proven wrong.
Nope,
Or
just a
can I
little
not count?
menuing here. This is just McBain doing some of the nice things. Again, when you have this long chat here, just let the text go and get some items moved around so that you can get some damage and just a little bit more optimization. Again, this is why I love seeing runners at the top. Some of the top runners that we have, McBain and Rhybon, both having gone very far in separate other tournaments. This is just like menuing and little optimizations that give them a little bit extra time.
Absolutely, and saving himself a menu as well by equipping that edge with the mute knives early on that he found. So we get a mage boss here. He's already going to be ready to go. That's not going to be any extra menuing, but it is just a noodle.
Yep, nothing really too scary here. The magic can be uh, kind of a problem if you're not prepared for it. But I know we had some dragoon armor somewhere that if we threw on that Sid, he's going to be safe. Poor Rosa and Form are not going to be lasting very long, but also neither will this Leviathan. That is 600 damage from this edge, plus the little bit from the Thor Rage. I don't see it lasting more than a couple more turns.
Yeah, this is a very high magic defense spot, so those Thor Rages not the optimal choice. That Vampire, however, getting some good damage in. Edge doing the work. Unless these Ice 2s start hitting real hard, ooh.
You were saying?
Yeah, that's real hard. But McBain is through, and Rhybon is about to start working on his noodle.
Absolutely. And the nice thing, again, with Edge having the amount of damage he has, he just is going to be making very short work of pretty much any boss here on the overworld. This is one of the scarier spots that we could have found and one of the scariest enemies. But we do see the difference in a little bit of damage. McBain utilizing just the dagger and the sword, whereas Rhybon is going after the elemental weakness of the Leviathan, pumping out a little bit more damage. Again, nothing more really to talk about by comparison damage wise, but it's going to be hit through with a couple of quick hits. Yeah, as we see just the damage coming out fast and furiously. That's a package though,
Ooh, that's ooh.
and a mom bomb.
Worst boss in the game. Now, one thing to note that I noticed, Rhybon kept that Edward. I would honestly be a little tempted to go back and get that Yang myself, just looking at the party we've got.
Yeah, seeing everybody we have here, you put Sid in the middle. Once we're done down in the underground, you get that Yang. We get ourselves some damage, and as much as sometimes we want to know who he is going to be putting out pretty okay hits. We still have a few of the elemental bosses where he can shine with his claws and get a little bit of damage and carry some fights, but it's still again, it's still up in the air. Do we see ourselves a spoon? Then we have Eddie can come in.
Absolutely. We don't want to be darting that spoon if we've got Edward just laying around, as he has been for Rhybon. So definitely keep an eye out for the spoon that makes Edward a very powerful physical attacker that can take you a lot of the way through the game. But the question remains, when would you check that package?
So this is from my personal standpoint. The second I get a package, especially if I'm still on the overworld and it's in my kind of wheelhouse of where I need to go, I'm gonna be going there right around the same time I check Baron, because we still have Fabul we can do, which people like to save for last, and we have Baron in right now as the two main areas we need to be going. My gut is telling me, you know what? Do a quick check, like do Baron, do a quick check there. Is this also a required boss? No, quick reset out, and then you don't have to worry about it after you burn it down and leave Kaipo alone.
Now, one other thing that could factor though is Rhybon has already been to Mist Cave, turned in, got that rat tail. McBain hasn't. So that might factor into some of that as well with that routing. So we'll see where McBain decides to go. Definitely stopping at Baron though.
Yeah, I 100% foresee like this being kind of the area. It's you want to go, you can make that nice little upswing. So you go from Baron to Mist Cave and then go see here. But here's some of the element that I was talking about. We have the full party here at Baron. There are 5 people at this table. I'm sorry, two to four of you have to leave.
Yeah, and again, McBain is keeping that Rydia down, not getting any levels on her. We'll see how that pays off. We do know that this is a force hook route. We don't know what's there. Rhybon is actually getting some XP up on Ordeals. Use the Siren to take on these Liliths.
Whereas the entirety of Baron is a very free fight with both the flame going out on the
Right.
right side to get experience and left side here now to get some more damage on these dolls and just quick gone. You blink, you miss it. Neither of the white mages have that spell, unfortunately, just yet. So obviously we're not blinking there, but we do get the hook. Yeah, this between Baron and Mist, you've got a lot of options for key items on you.
Yeah, but will McBain go and check that Mist Cave? We know that the Demus is out there. We know it has a key item. McBain doesn't, but it could be looming over him. When will he make those other checks? Will he just fly over, or will he on his way to get the hovercraft? We'll find out here soon.
Exactly. And as we see Rhybon kind of catching up, I'm okay. Again, this is the basic routing that you're going to see. I think a lot of runners at this point kind of go for. Again, Fateful, everyone loves to do the single dip if they absolutely can. And with the boss hunts, you kind of can't keep your stones unturned. So you are more incentivized to check out of the way locations such as Mist Cave, such as Waterfall. Like, less so for the boss proper as well. But again, because we're looking for this Demist, you don't want to have it holding onto something that is very important. We don't know what the rat tail is yet, so we don't know if it's important or if it's just a whammy.
The other thing is, will Big Bane remember to park on the other side of Mist, or will he just charge right in?
This is true, and that is what I'm pretty sure runners of this caliber are going to remember that and going to be checking over there as we are going to be proven right. But this is, again, one of those things that some people, they just kind of commit and they rush, they go, okay, package check, and they forget about the fact that they have to go and talk to Rydia's mom. But it's not a bad thing to have to double back, especially if you know you're going to have to, talk here one way or the other anyways. Loses you a little bit of time, but this is just when you go for the double, and he doesn't even care about the package check, which a lot of runners honestly don't.
Yeah, we only need 7 out of 8 of these bosses. With Demus off the table, the chance that that is going to be the hard required boss to get through the seed is not very high. So it makes a lot of sense. You've got the hook in hand, you've got a rat tail, check waterfall, it's some DMs, and then move on, turn a rat tail, and start doing the hook route.
Yeah, this is where a lot of things are going to kind of depend, and this is actually interesting. I did not expect Rhybon to want to stop here, and I expected kind of like a mimicking on both sides. Rhybon and McBain both going to check this rat tail, but divergence. We're going to get two different key item checks, pretty close to each other.
I wonder if maybe Rhybon is hoping for a pink tail to do the 1-2 Oh,
Yeah, that's not a bad call. I didn't even think about that. The double whammy. We like to call the Fabula a nice 2-for-1 there too. But the double whammy of both the rat and pinktail, where you can kind of just put the hovercraft there, forget about it, and then go somewhere else. But it looks like even McBain's got the same idea.
and it's interesting too with the heart now. That's another option, another key item before you do the hook route. It is a longer check though, and maybe you want to get some more power for the
Oh
team.
boy.
Oh,
Well, this is our lovely third instance of vanilla. We have yet another set of the alt gauntlet here instead of the regular Fabula gauntlet. Fights pulled from the area around you. You have edge. He has flame. He does not care what you're about to fight.
yep. And there's only a couple of these where you won't need edge to flame as long as you've got it at least for that last one where there's I think 6 of the sword rats. Not a big deal.
Absolutely, and this is kind of a good old free life potion there. I was really hoping maybe we'd see like an hourglass or something, or even the cockatrice summon, which is always entertaining.
Yeah, and even McBain showing up on the other side that a Thor Rage, which wasn't really helping out on ordeals, is going to be really useful here. These are such early game fights that this is more of a nuisance than, a threat to these runners.
Absolutely. Again, the J items that we have access to are just wonderful little items to be utilizing. The Thor Rages, again, great against the bosses that they're useful for, but when you see fights like this, you can just toss it out, and it's a faster animation than Flame, which, when you're looking for any animation cancel you can, this is what you're asking for.
Yep, and here comes the Thor Rages. Probably going to need 2 for these rats. Already got it queued up, though.
Maybe even a third. Yeah, definitely a third. Some of those rolled a little low, and that's the unfortunate thing. It's just like the regular items or regular spells themselves can roll low, can roll high. Damage numbers and RNG in my randomizer, never.
What? I mean, we've got what now? 2 instances of vanilla. I mean, the Lord of the Council of Vanilla is here overseeing this venture.
And I, for one, have been appeased. Another thing that is appeasing is we do have a pass, meaning that if we don't have to deal with the moon, or if we find that darkness crystal buried somewhere, we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, we can find all 7 of the bosses we need here on the Earth. Take that pass, go right to Zeromus, collect $200, and in one of our runners' cases, a win.
Wait, we're getting paid? We can collect $200 for doing this?
200 gil.
Is that transferable to real world money?
If you can find a bank that will accept it, let me know.
Challenge accepted.
We'll be playing a whole lot more free enterprise if that's the case.
Absolutely, I would. But regardless, whether or not we're here for the little bit of means of where we can get real world money, or whether we're here for the fact that we're about to get ourselves some other currency in the case of getting ourselves some music, we are getting a little bit of everything here. We're getting ourselves our memes, we're getting vanilla, and music within the first 20 minutes. I know a couple of people in the community who say faded as much as possible, but personally, as here for the people, I'm more for the music every once in a while.
I'm always here for good tunes. The people who have contributed to it, every single one of them has always been great. It's always a treat for fans alike to be able to see, and really look forward to seeing what rolls up here. And we'll see if Rhybon is going to follow along, or if this is just going to be a single incident of tunes.
I'm fairly confident this is going to be a single incident because we have we have our underground access right now, and we're just going to kind of go with what we've got and just say, hey, this is a thing. And Rhybon even kind of going and changing party members, it looks like here. Probably going to pick up this Yang.
It is very interesting. Unless, oh, taking them both.
I'm kind of here for this because Rydia, again, you can sling or keep as your anchor, and she does just fine one way or the other. But yeah, I'm fairly confident that Rydia is anchoring. A little unfortunate, but that's just my choice. I love to see Rydia when she gets to cast spells as opposed to pretend that she's Tella.
This also makes me think Rhybon might be diving into Evelyn Castle.
Maybe, but looks like we are both proven wrong, as we are going to have staggered music here. We're gonna have McBain give it to us first, and then we're gonna be having Rhybon following shortly after. And I love it when music doesn't overshadow each other, so we can listen to it for even longer. What do you think game we're gonna have it from today, BK?
So many, like that's like reaching into a bag of popcorn and finding one that's burnt. Like there's so many like possibilities.
Well, I'm gonna call the shot that I usually do. We're gonna get some Mario RPG music here. And a wonderful rendition of Cooch's theme from Final Fantasy IX, a wonderful RPG. Probably one of my personal top 5 favorites in the very least. Yeah, no key item here, just a defense sword, not even a required boss. You kind of wonder if you'd reset out, but the levels and the amount of time invested, might as well make use out of that defense sword to yeet towards an enemy.
Absolutely. We don't know what's on the hook route yet. Looks like McBain is going in, or going into the hook route. We'll be seeing who's on there shortly. That defense sword is gonna get chucked or sold. That is a good hefty amount of money too.
Yeah, I more see that it's going to be utilized as a throwing weapon at this point. I don't really see the need for money when we have so many other checks we could be doing and so many other options. But especially with the fact that he's opening some treasure chests on the way through.
Yeah, but what if Bacchus wines are for sale?
Ooh, okay, if there's Bacchus wines for sale, then yeah, I can kind of understand the selling because that's really what you're looking for. Hourglasses kind of make it almost worth it
Ooh.
too.
We'll see. Does he have enough? I mean, he's got enough for a couple, and really, you only need like a handful.
Yeah, I foresee that. Yeah, those 5 probably going to be all he needs. The life pot's there too. 24, just enough. And yeah, if we see some Bacchus ones later on, it's going to be a little sad, but we have edge. If we really need them, we can just go and steal some from one of the 2 trap chests we have here.
Absolutely. And doing the same buying for Rhybon. And our runners have, taken a couple different paths. They have different parties, but they are neck and neck going into this hook route.
Oh yeah, again, runners of McBain and Rhybon's quality, they aren't here in the Red Moon and this far into the best of 3s for nothing. And it's honestly, and even the people that they've gone through on the way through, no match was ever easy for any one of them. And it's just, you're looking for really, again, you're looking at really great runners. And you have a required hook route too.
Oh,
That is Magus Sisters.
those Mega Sisters are about to have a real bad day. Mute Knife Edge is just chomping at the bit.
Yeah, the only unfortunate part is I don't believe either of our white mages know Berserk just yet. But yeah, oh, Porum knows Berserk. Never mind. Yeah, ignore what I said. Poor Edge is going to have a absolute field day with these, as long as he continues to go from front to back, because that's the type of team fights you like when you do not have the back row glitch.
Yeah, with the Red Moon, back row glitch is not turned on. So we have these Mad Ogres, which the Meat Knife is going to do some work here too. But we're just going to see Edge just start carving them up and try and get a couple of life glitches off.
Yeah, I was actually very curious. I almost expected to see a couple of maybe Bacchus wines being stolen when you're down to your last one, but again, this is not a bad call. You really want to just make the most of the experience here.
And Rhybon saw the Magus Sisters, has not looted anything, did not look for any other chests, says, I've got this. It goes right in. So we will see what is going to be sitting in that King-Queen spot. That's going to be the big question now. Is it another one of our required bosses? If it's Antlion, that's a tough Antlion. Evil Wall could also be something really rude there as well.
The only kind of that was another defense sword. Hi, Sir Cecil and Kane, who are not appearing in this seed. However, that is going to be either A, good money, or B, a very nice dart later on.
That could be a really good opening dart here. Oh, and this wall cheats so badly.
This is not what you want to really see here.
Oh, this wall cheats so badly too. I don't know if Edge will. Yeah, Rhybon's gonna go ahead and reset. Edge, I don't think would have been able to withstand those 3 hits.
No, 100% not. This is a spot where I almost think you even lower your battle speed a little bit. But yeah, this is a fight, or even throw him in the back row because you know exactly what Edge is here for. He's yeeting. You're kind of hoping he gets enough damage out and he can survive the few hits he's going to be taking.
Yep, and we'll see what McBain does. McBain does have 2 defense swords now, so we'll see what he decides to do, and it looks like there goes one of them.
Yeah, but it's how fast can we get the damage out is the real question. There's almost 3k, so we got about half the health gone. Yeah, I could be playing that life roulette, really hoping that Edge doesn't get hit. Very lucky RNG. He has he's about 100 health left.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Ooh, come on! Can we get Edge to throw a sword and go? Oh,
he
we have
took
the
a
low
hit.
roll.
Oh,
no.
the eaten wall. Like I said, Evil Wall's Script is it cheats. It takes 2 turns at one time. Every time it moves, it stops all the ATB and takes a hit. And it likes to get extra actions in it. And at this very fast spot, this is going to be a little trouble for our runners. But McBain going right back in.
Yeah, again, as I figured, you swap the rows around. If he takes the hit instead of goes from 800 from what it was showing to a little bit less, yeah, looking at 300, he can take a couple of hits there. And if you just keep the cures going, and if we can get a hit or two with Sid or somebody else, we might be all right. But yeah, this is where we get it's a little bit nerve wracking because you're getting your slower characters. Yeah, this is. Ooh.
Rhybon is stealing Bacchus ones from the Mad Ogres.
And then we get the occasional roll where we only get hit for 50, and then the 600. Yeah, that wall cheats. That's randomness to rudeness right there.
Yeah, and this is evil wall into Magus Sisters. I mean, while we have the Mute Knife Edge, that's still not a free-ish fight.
Try getting to it first of all right now. Yeah, and again, so while we have our runners kind of literally bashing their heads to bash down a wall, I want to give, again, a big shout out to the Restream team, as I kind of talked about in the very beginning. We have Skull Kitty stepping in for Oscar, who's having a little bit of issues on our restreaming. We have tracking done by S. Grunt, who is usually here for a little bit of memes and all the reaction images he possibly can. And then we have my fellow co-commentator, Bad Karma, here. I'm absolutely excited to share the booth with you. It has been a long time since I've been able to party on.
Party on, Dathis, and thank you for joining me in here as well. It's always a good time to share the booth with you, and especially when we've got a match just like this, where we've got a literal wall to get through for both of our runners.
Absolutely, and just to go back to game one, where we have these runners taking their literal beats from this. We had, again, in game one, we mentioned the fact that Rhybon took the win-loss. There was only about a 2-minute difference between these runners. So as we see them in lockstep, this is kind of essentially the MO for how they've been going. You're not going to see much of a difference. I think if there is going to be some divergence, they will also reconvene right near the end too, and I'm excited for that.
Yeah, so we've got another attempt. Oh man, that wall is hurting hard. Yang is going to throw up an illusion as well to try and take a hit.
I think at this point you kind of need to have some illusions on both Edge and Yang, just so you can make sure that they can survive to get through to here. The Bacchus wines are very interesting, and I'm super excited.
That is one of the way to counteract a little bit of how much this wall cheats. I just don't know if and that 800 damage. So
McBain is through though.
Nice job on McBain. The darting definitely a huge advantage there.
Yeah, again, darting for essentially the entirety of the health bar and just looking for one more hit. I think, yeah, as much as I know you have the ability to just kind of wreck through the Magus Sisters right now, you go and save. You don't want to have the option to do that again, because if you do, you could lose like 5-10 minutes here again, and I am not about that.
And Rhybon is through as well.
And again, as we're saying, these runners are seconds apart from each other in this kind of thing. It's really nice to see like just how it goes. But are we gonna get a fortune favors the bold?
Going into the fight pretty much at the same time.
We have some Bacchus wines. We have no save. We have dueling Magus Sister fights. I'm 100% down for this.
Yeah, we have Berserks going out on the Edge. Edge swinging for 2,500 on Mindy. Oh man, this is. Yeah. And looking at these parties side by side too, we're looking at McBain keeping Sid on the left, and we have Rhybon taking Yang. Rydia did not get any levels. They didn't pick up Leviathan, keeping her to anchoring levels for right now. So we'll see if that decides to change or if she's going to be watching the floor the entire time.
I honestly, unless we see a cursed ring or even a dwarf axe, I 100% foresee the fact that Rydia is going to be staying on the ground. There's no reason in a party like this to pick her up. You got your double white mages, you got your double bruisers. This is gonna be your fight, and this is gonna be how the rest of the scene is gonna go out. It's gonna be Sid throwing out a little bit of hits. It's gonna be Rosa shooting out arrows if we find herself a different decent bow, and it's gonna be Edge, who is the honestly, we don't have C Hero on, but he might as well be.
At this point, he might as well be, because when you get that edge start in these Red Moon Seeds, he is essentially your hero all the way, at least through the hook route. Depending on what you find, he's going to continue to carry the team, but for your initial overworld and through that hook route, he might as well be your hero.
Yeah, and it's a little bit interesting because you're really needing to want to worry about looting on this, but I know that with T Pro, your looting strategies are kind of a little bit lesser by comparison. I'm more of I'm fairly well versed in T Pro by comparison, so I'm going to kind of divulge to you. Let this go towards UBK. When do you stop looting with this party, or do you just keep going till you find something decent for Edge, or do you just say we're done? And speaking of done, both fights within actual seconds of each other. McBain, oh, this is what we're here for.
I think if the Earth Crystal pops up, you're gonna take that Earth Crystal, even if it's T Pro, because you do not want to go into Zeromus with dual mute knives. Once we see ninja swords in a shop somewhere, that's also gonna be try to figure out like how much money do I need. But yeah, it's gonna really depend on that edge weaponry.
Also, I want it noted that there are 7 seconds putting our runners apart from each other right now. Rhybon down at 37 minutes even, McBain 37:07, and we have a boss that is yet another edge showing here. That is a Odin. That is a Thunderclaw. I know that is in Rhybon's inventory at the very least. We don't have any other ways of doing thunder damage, but may we see the return of Eddie just to get through that fight? Who knows?
I doubt it. That Thunderclaw is gonna do the work, I think, for that fight.
Tracker saying, Riddy would like a word with you. Unfortunately, she may have a word, but the word is going to be ZZZ because she has no HP, no levels, and the tier 2 spells when she grows up, and that's about it.
Yep, I've been doing a little shuffling going into these Dwarf 2 fights, making sure that edge anchoring, because I'm not going to sit here and try to explain the black magic that is agility manipulation. I just know that they're moving things around to make the fight easier.
Yeah, this is where, honestly, a little bit of even my knowledge kind of disappears, is the fast anchoring versus slow anchoring. It's very interesting how you kind of go into some fights down in the underground and you want to add, well, so I foresee Rydia maybe getting some levels now. That was a lovely, lovely cursed ring that we found there.
And there was the other thing too for Rhybon. Cat claws are for sale. That's 300 or 30,000 a pop. You're gonna need to do a little bit more looting, and the extra looting paid off.
Yeah, and this is where we get to the point where is the extra looting? Where do you stop? Where do you decide, hey, enough is enough? We're at the point where apparently enough is not enough, and I'm always so bad with it myself. Where do you loot? Where do you stop looting? Where is that next loot not going to be better? But speaking of things that are not going to be better, this is a CPU fight. You don't really, yeah. This is with 2 blink casters. It's not that bad because you can keep the attacker node blinked up and not have to worry about it. But this is still going to be a more HP than you really want to chew through.
Yeah, this is a slog fight. Not of a risk for our runners to not get through it. It's just gonna take time, and it's gonna take them both an equal amount of time.
Yeah, and the damage is going to be, again, the 10% damage is fairly nice, and this is where you start getting that. This is where we get a little bit nervous because the attack. This is where do you just like heal the defense node and kind of just try and berserk through it, or do we just let Edge do Edge things? Apparently, we're letting Edge do Edge things.
Yeah, we don't worry about 9,999 globes. We just let it roll. Literally.
I mean, it's fine. We're good here.
This
Yeah, Edge still chunking out tons of damage.
Yeah, unfortunately Rosa took that globe, but she's back up. We're probably gonna see. It's gonna be close to see if we see those orbs come back or not.
Comment in chat, shame no darts are saving them. On McBain's side, definitely the darts are gone because we saw them used on that evil wall. Rhybon may be holding on to them for another fight because, again, as bad as this fight is, I don't see it being like a dart required fight by comparison.
Yeah, and just realizing again, McBain went full gusto with that because of the back row glitch. You need to get rid of both of those orbs to be doing the full power to that CPU. And that's where the blink strat here is actually not as helpful because we're not doing full damage. So it is going to slow Rhybon down a little bit.
Here is our other boss.
Wow.
We've seen one blue robe. Here's the other one. This is a seed and a half that's been rolled, and I'm kind of excited for it. This is Water Hag again. The 1% chance of rolling a Water Hag within these races on the Red Moon, and we've had it twice in this round of 3 alone.
Yeah, both runners getting the Water Hag. It is has not shown up anywhere else that I'm aware of, and this is a free fight. Quick XP, 3 hits and you're done. Runners are going to breathe a little sigh of relief, but the question now becomes, where do you go? Really, it's just the Fey March is all you have, depending on what Dwarf gives you, or that Luca key.
Remember, we do still have the top tower, so we have that as an option as well. But no, you're right. It's you check your freebies, you kind of hope you get a pan in the near future, and you kind of go and unlock the rest of what you can. And I almost want to say, again, I want to say Luca, because you're looking at bosses that are coming from really cheeky checks, bosses that are coming from areas that you look and go, why are these here? Yeah, honestly, Luca and Package are the two I just look at and go, are you my last two?
And we also found coffins. So Rhybon used the siren on our deals. McBain did not. McBain could go knock out an egg really quick with a coffin and really spruce the team up with a little bit with the 30,000 XP. But there's a tower key.
That honestly, I think, is going to push both the runners way more towards that tower by comparison. And I foresee that Odin going and having a very bad time in the very near future.
Yeah, but as we pointed out, Rhybon is the only one with the Thunderclaw. McBain did not pick that up out of the Watery Pass. So the only source of thunder for McBain, because that Rydia has not been getting any XP, is the Thor Rages and Blitz.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to go back and look because I really thought I saw McBain had it and he sold it at one point. Again, when you're on autopilot and just selling things that you don't really need, but McBain doing a very quick loot, and I'm super glad that he did, also picks up that curse ring, so we have it on even footing here. No agility shenanigans going to be putting one runner behind the other.
All agility manipulation is agility shenanigans. I'm saying it now.
I mean, you can say it now, and you're 100% correct, because agility is black magic, and the only person on this restream team that's allowed to be doing black magic is Scala Kitty.
I only know Fire 1.
You know black magic?
Fire 1. I learned it on Mount Hobbs when Rydia wouldn't.
I don't even know black magic. I don't know white magic.
Elixirs, though, for Tomra, no job dwarfing. But it looks like McBain gonna be getting the freebies. Rhybon still doing some shopping. I'm looking for. There it is.
Yeah, finding those ninja blades. This is where you sell the bank, and you're gonna be saying, like, "We're coming back here." I think looting might still happen a little bit, just for a little bit more cash, so you make sure that you have the money for that second one. But I am 100% of the thought that like the bank might go, but you're kind of just happy with knowing where it is for later.
Bank's looking at you like that's Soma drop.
And there's our sirens too. So we have all of our grinds kind of covered. We have XP that we can get before we even need to go and do anything going on. That's 7 sirens picked up by McBain. Yeah, this is going to be a one seed to remember.
Yep, and Rhybon's falling right behind. Runners in lockstep, doing the same checks. Rhybon wants to get that freebie, wants to peek these bosses.
Yeah, that's kind of what we're really needing. Is we have our full forge, we have the ability um, to look and see these two bosses, which neither one of them are required, so you're kind of okay with that. The only thing of value in Feymarch was the option of A, the forge, and B, knowing where your sirens are for free. Well,
Oh
for
my
some
goodness.
money.
If the fiery hammer comes out of the super smith, let Sid bonk things.
That is actually a really good question. At what point do you just look at Sid and do you go, sorry, buddy, you're not the anchor anymore? I mean, on McBain's side, 100% not your anchor. But on Rhybon's side, do you just say, let's go swap out somebody for this Sid? Like, do you swap out Yang for Sid? I say kind of definitely.
Honestly, swap out Porum and go Trizerker. Sid can still do the work and be the anchor with that fiery hammer. I don't think it raises any agility.
You know what? I think you're actually correct. You start Z with, if we can find a Dwarf Axe too, start Z with the Dwarf Axe on, swap over to the Fiery Hammer, and you just have a good time.
We only need agility for the first round.
Exactly. And once that's done, then it doesn't matter after that. But Rhybon is actually going to get us a look at not only this forge, but what the shop is here. This is a really nice little bit of divergence. If this weapon is as good as we think it is, we could still get scrap. That's on the table. It's going to make a big difference in these runners.
Well, it's going to make a difference in these tower fights as well. I mean, Odin, again, weak to thunder. We've got some guards here, not a big deal. Rhybon's broke, so not. Oh my goodness.
Oh my lord. Well, remember how that time when I was saying we're looking for weapons for Edge? We buy one, we get a free one.
And there's Zeus gauntlets in the shop if Rhybon finds some more money somewhere. And crystal rings too.
I mean, I think the Zeus gauntlets are way more likely to be picked up than the crystal rings. Crystal rings are nice. You're 100% correct there. But it's get that Zeus gauntlet. It's Sasuke Ninja on that edge, and this is going to be the different power couple.
Yeah, this is Sasuke is one of the strongest weapons for Edge. I believe the other one that's really escaping, the really long one, is the better of the two. But whew.
I want to say like Mutsu, but yeah, Mutsu no Kami.
Yeah,
I was thinking like it's the Mutsu. I think is the other one, and yeah, he is with that one. It's his really good damage weapon. But aside from that, this is still a forge you're very happy with. And speaking of very happy, we have some very happy friends. Welcome, Free Enterprise 2. No spoiling for the races, but welcome to a fairly jetty seed in progress.
yeah, and also a tight seed. Really, the only divergence right now between Rhybon and McBain is Rhybon has turned in the forge, and Rhybon has Yang versus McBain having Sid. Forge weapon is an edge katana, the Sasuke, so doesn't really matter between those two characters, but we are neck and neck for these runners.
Yeah, let's put it this way. There were 7 seconds separating the two of them from underground. Oh, and by the way, how do you guys like an evil wall blocking your progress at King Queen Eblin? We were here for it for about the 5-10 minutes we were there for.
Sure, our runners didn't like it, that's for sure. Rhybon, no save, says I got this.
Yeah, again, with the damage he has and the Sasuke and the Thunderclaw, he's just gonna kind of look and go, no, I've got more than enough going on here. Yeah, I think the Sasuke Thunderclaw here, this is going to be a big difference. Like, we're looking at McBain doing roughly about 1,300 damage per round right now. And when Rhybon gets into this fight, I definitely see that it's going to be a much higher bit of damage. Oh, there's a 1,300 hit. There you go. But we have the sword raised. We're about to see how much damage comes out.
Low magic spot here, so probably not going to be all that threatening. I believe it's yeah, this is where Rhybon is going to make up some even more time. Oh,
6,500.
And still has to do the cannon. Is doing Odin first, so is they're not completely neck and neck. But McBain is a check up, but Rhybon came in after Odin and is out of Odin first. So the power of the Thunderclaw is showing off.
Ain't no law when you got a Thunderclaw.
Just
That
a
went
Sylph
by so
Summon.
quick. What was that item?
Sylph Summon.
I mean, the important thing is you get this check completely out of your system and you don't have to look at it, so you're kind of happy with that. It depends on what we have here at the tower key. If both are zonks, it's going to be unfortunate. We do know that it's just the guards, so it's not a boss requirement. The key item is more what we're excited for.
Yep, and also this is the everyone's favorite airship swap. We haven't gone back into the overworld yet, so we're just seeing we're going to see an airship swap, one coming in.
And it's what we need. We need to come save us. And yeah, there is, again, the guards we see here. So McBain and Rhybon, as much as the divergence has put them apart, they are just right back together. And it's, considering how much time McBain spent on that fight, not much is really conceded back to Rhybon. It's going to be the additional looting later that might help him or hurt him, depending on if he ever goes and checks the Tomer weapon shop. But again, this is going to be so close now.
Absolutely, and we'll see if McBain decides to go and do that forge, or are we going to get a Sheila 1, because it's Luca key or Sheila 1 or whatever we get from this tower.
Indeed. And again, as we've mentioned, we have a package that hasn't been checked, and we have a Luca cave that has not been checked, both of which are kind of disincentivized in most of these runs here on the Red Moon. Actually, even in the Blue Moon seeds, you're kind of looking, going, hey, do you really want to do Luca cave? Not really. You get your warp item, and then that's it. We don't have the warp glitch on here, obviously in red, but it's still a place that people kind of don't like checking until they absolutely have to, at least that I've found.
I would say you have Dathus in the booth, you check it for vanilla. Never mind.
Well, no vanilla had there, unfortunately. I was hoping for
Oh,
some.
McBain trying to figure out, do I do Sheila 1? This is where the match is going to come down to. The Darkness Crystal in hand. You have 3 bosses you've got to find out of the 4. And the biggest density is that moon, and you can start face checking.
Yeah, and that's kind of a really good thought. And again, I love the divergence here. And McBain honestly looking at Yang saying, all right, we're grabbing you. I know we don't have a D money set up. Are we gonna have maybe Mac Giants to sling him up?
Oh, it could. Because Charm Claw, I think we've got a Charm Claw somewhere. We've got a Thunder Claw. We got 2 Blink Casters. We've got
Yeah, there's a couple of options. We could Mac Giant grind, and that Edge can just kind of do all the work right there. Charm Claw plus, I mean, if we had a little bit more damage, would be great. We do have 2 Blink Casters. It's what you're looking for. And yeah, we do know that we have Zeus gauntlets down in the Forge shop, so there is that option to pick up as well.
We also have McBain has 7 sirens. I don't know how many hourglasses left. That is going to come into play. It could be gold dragons.
With this party setup, I am personally not a fan of gold dragons. I think this is where you go if you're going to do this with the key items we have, which is 9 key item grind, which feels very sad.
Oh yeah.
You do your eggs, but in all honesty, if you're sitting at 9 key items, go to Sheila 1, hope you hit yourself a key item, then you pop a couple of eggs.
Agreed. And maybe this is what separates our runners. Rhybon's giving us a look, and there is the pan.
That's something you're obviously going to want to walk out, but you're also going to want to check the boss here. The only thing that would be kind of rude, I think, maybe Magus Sisters? Like, Golbez won't be fun here. It'd be doable, but it won't be fun.
Yeah, no.
Sorry, Val's what I was thinking of. I was thinking Val. Yeah, so we have an Asura here. This is, yeah, this is going to be nothing with the Mute Dagger. And, hey, White Mages, can we get someone to berserk our boy real quick?
I think we're getting the wall up first.
Details.
Honestly, considering the key item and, you know, what is about to happen to our friend Asura here, this is a really sizzling check.
Yeah, I'm super here for it. And also on the moon we have Bacchus wine too. So this seed is just saying, hey, whatever money you've got, I want it all, please and thank you.
It would be concern for McBain if this pan ends up being Earth or Baron Key, or those are going to be checks that I don't even we did not have a chance due to some technical difficulties to see who the first boss was, so we don't know who gave our key item in the start. Oh, it was
Oh,
oh.
so if we see a Baron key, we're kind of looking for two other bosses at that point. So I'm kind of honestly, I like this face check from McBain even a little bit more. Ooh, Tiara Spike.
Rhybon's walking this out, getting the warps on. One definite reason to make sure you have some levels on that radio so that you can warp out a sealed cave.
Yeah, and the loot, yeah, warping out a sealed cave is kind of what you want because it's time to just like say, hey, let's not even worry about this. Let's just kind of go and ignore things. But we have a sparkle here. Very curious that McBain is going to
Yeah.
take this, but if this is like Ogo, hey, I say it.
They don't call Ogopogo the nope rope for nothing.
Yeah, that's not something you want to deal with there. That's like if that is blocking Baron, which has your last two bosses, you'll leave that till the very, very end.
Yeah. You're gonna giant before you do that.
Oh man, could you imagine if that actually holds with the Baron key and Baron has like three? Could you imagine if Baron had the three last
Oh
required
my
bosses?
god. Oh,
With that Val, oh
we've
please.
seen a lot of doubled up checks, but I don't think we've seen a triple check.
We have. I cannot remember the race, but I'm 80% sure that there has been a triple required Baron. I'm going to think that one of the people we have in chat, yeah, actually, it was done by one of our restream leads, Cubs Ruled 21. He, in fact, rolled the you want to fade Baron, bad call, because that was 3 of your 7 bosses all right there.
I totally miss. Oh, Artemis Bow. Hey, nice for Sid. For if McBain gets around to that.
Yeah, it's something that you really enjoy seeing. You can let Sid do that, or you can even throw it on Rosa if you find some better arrows and let her be the Zerker hero that we need her to be as well. That is the possibility. We could get some more Zerk. We could get Quad Zerk, as we're talking about Tri Zerk.
Have you heard about Quad Zerk?
I know very much a lot about Quad Zerk, but we're not going to talk about how that has bitten me. Quint is where it's at, though.
Nothing ever goes wrong when you quit.
100% of the time, it works every time.
All right, so we are going to get Sheila 1, Sheila 2. Rhybon has 10 key items. McBain sitting at 9. This is going to play out. Those of you who have not, maybe this is your first time watching Free Enterprise. Once you get 10 key items, you get double the experience from fights. So these boss fights for McBain, only going to give the normal amount of XP. There's some D-Lunars and a French vanilla.
The French vanilla. That's very true, side by side. But that pan does reward the Baron key. So that is a boss from the pan that came from the Luca key, which was a turn in from the Rat Tail. So I mean, that's a chain. Oh, was it Antlion? Sorry, my bad.
Antlion.
Antlion into Luca into Pan. That's what you're kind of looking for here. And Rhybon has kind of slept on one of these bosses for a bit here. Going back and doing a quick check to say, hey, do I need this?
Also hasn't checked the waterfall. So we'll probably be seeing that check here shortly as well.
Yeah, and in these flag sets, because we have Sino Erndon, this is a place that you kind of remember as the boss location, not as a character check. So not remembering it, honestly, has happened to some of the runners that have run these flags. I don't know any of them by name. We're not going to talk about one that might be in the booth right now.
Listen, you don't have to disparage me like that.
I wasn't talking about you.
Getting the lunar frogs over on McBain's side, very nicely done.
And again, that is the strat that has been around for a little bit, and it is always really entertaining to see when you just see, hey, and now we have some little tiny dudes.
And when they're frogs, they take extra damage.
Yeah, so this is going to be a semi-lower HP spot in the first place, and you're just really here for it for McBain doing all this damage and getting up his party members so that we can get XP flowing really quickly.
Yep, meanwhile, Rhybon is in the sewer, is going to head to that Valvalis, and we'll be seeing what other two bosses await him. I believe with this Edge, the way he is kitted out, can probably take on that Odin throne, depending on most bosses.
I don't think there's anything in this seed, especially with the damage that's on Rhybon's side, that is going to kind of stand in his way. What would even be at that throne that would be scary at this point?
Baigen could be rude and from a back rowing situation. We don't have a great way to clear the arms, so Baigen in that spot could be rude. I don't think it's evil wallet king queen, but it could be, not fun.
No, absolutely, and that's exactly what we're looking for. We want fun for us, but not fun for the runners sometimes, because as much as we love our runners who can put on good shows, again, if you're not following Rhybon and McBain, please do so. They are fantastic runners. But as much as we love to see the runners succeed, suffering is always a good time. And speaking of suffering, McBain is suffering from no key items on the moon.
Ooh, and a Bahamut summon when you've got a non-level Rydia in the party, and he's just gonna reset out of it. Oh, he doesn't even have Rydia anymore. I forgot he swapped Rydia for the Young.
Yeah, that's actually fairly interesting. I would have been kind of tempted to keep the Rydia sorry, not keep the Rydia, but hello, Yang. We have a little, mirror image here. No, I would have been tempted to keep that XP just because, I mean, that's kind of what you're here on the moon for, is for bosses and for some XP.
It's double.
Well, that is dirt double hard required Baron, my friends. Do we have the triple is the question.
Ooh. So Baigen wanted a promotion, took the throne for himself. Old Snake Arms says, you know what, this is mine now. This is my chair. So we'll be kicking him out. And then I gotta imagine Rhybon's like that. You gotta check that throne.
Yeah, you kind of exit, you save immediately, and you go check that, because either it's going to be hard required, or you're going. Honestly, at this point, do you do the cheeky check of the package while you're here?
I think yeah. Unless you get the Earth Crystal. If you get the Earth Crystal, I think you go Zod. You get those two bosses out of the way. But if you don't, I think this is a good time to do it. Looking around, finding no friends in the Baron Throne Room. My favorite thing is just looking around and be like, hey, I thought someone was going to show up. Pig or something, but nope.
Yeah, it's fun. Hey, look, we found...
Hey, look, Gomez!
We found Golbez, we found Odin, perfect. Oh, wait, hold on. They're already stoned. Did we beat them? Do we have another boss down?
Somebody mark it on the tracker. Golbez was stoned and defeated already.
Yep, so we're good there. That means Rhybon has his... Wait, why doesn't he have his crystal yet?
Just a white spear? That's not... Oh, okay, I gotta check that basement.
Yeah, could you imagine if we actually do have on the Odin throne is Golbez, because that's just like, hey, Golbez on Odin. That little thing there,
yeah.
That would be really funny.
We'll be seeing that here. Meanwhile, McBain is still working through this karate. Has the fight well in hand. Everybody's blinked. Everybody's healed. This is just time. This is a big HP spot, 50,000 HP. So this karate is taking a bit. Oh, it's a lunar sparkle.
Yep, we don't care who that is. That can stay there. We don't care who to fight.
All right, Rhybon, where are you going?
Yeah, this is the point where raising the lunar whale. This is the point where, in theory, you're looking at the moon for being your higher chances of finding your boss. If you're just gonna especially because Rhybon just needs one, he can just face check everywhere. Mm-hmm. He's missing one key item that gates 2 bosses.
Right.
That's it.
And he could still check one of those.
No, I mean, like, he's missing. Like, we're only missing
Yeah.
the Earth Crystal. So
Yeah.
oh, that's true.
He
Yeah,
could check.
he could. Yeah, so there's one boss that we cannot know, that we do not know about right now.
That could have been a really cheeky check. She just run up that one.
I forget about Zot one every now and again. That's one I have to keep in my pocket just in case I'm on the last boss and I don't have an Earth Crystal. But yeah, I would favor the package because, again, something right here is right there is where you're gonna want. I would be also sorely tempted to do the giant, just to look. We don't have vanilla giant on, so you don't have to finish the giant. You can kind of peek elements and go from there. It's a time investment, but when you're just here for the one, yeah.
10 key items. You take that element spot if it's something like King Queen. Like those 300k XP just waiting for you.
Yeah, and honestly, every one of these spots is you're kind of looking, going, do I grab this for XP? Do I just look at this and say go away? Or speaking of going away, karate fades away, and we do have a bunch of XP coming the way of all of these characters. 4 and 5 levels here for McBain. What do we have here? That's a key item. There's our Earth Crystal. Yep, that means all known key items or unknown key items are now known. And yeah, we can find every boss now. Everything's available to us.
And here comes the gold dragons for Rhybon. So we know Baron is hard required. 2 bosses are sitting in there. Rhybon is looking for either Antlion or Golbez. If one of those 2 is here on the moon, Rhybon is definitely going to find it. I don't know when McBain gets back to that Luca key, especially with the Earth Crystal in hand.
Ooh, and he's looking. Oh, that's a little bit of indecision. See, this is where, yeah, it's hard. It's, do you continue focusing this? And there's another boss that he has an option of checking too. We do have the Crystal Sword altar checking first, right? But it could also be, wait, did I save? And this is the thing: save early, save often, because you don't want to reset out of a key item, especially something as important as what that was.
The key item and the experience. That was a good chunk of experience. It was 5 levels on average first party. McBain needed that. Meanwhile, Rhybon averaging 5 levels with these gold dragons.
Yeah, and that's a lot of experience. That's King Queen Evelyn. It's free. But I think he's kind of looking for like the Baron key or the Pan right now. We know where they are. The only key item this could possibly be is Sand Ruby, Spoon, or Pinktail.
Or Magma.
Or Magma, yeah. And if that happens, I've never seen that item before. It doesn't do anything.
Get underground.
I don't know what you're talking about. We already have underground access.
This is a lot of XP. McBain getting 10 key items just in time for this. This is a big pickup for McBain, just to help his party get moving along.
Yeah, absolutely. This is kind of what you're looking for here. You need a nice little infusion, and this is what's going to help him catch back up. Because in all honesty, we don't say like how people look behind or not by comparison. But if you're looking at like bosses versus even inventory wise here, McBain should definitely is like behind on this part right now. The only way he's not is if we have yet another double whammy of the sense of both Antlion and Golbez at Earth Crystal.
Oh yeah, or Earth.
Yeah, Giant or Earth. That's the only way that he kind of comes back in. We need another dirty double somewhere else. But one way or the other, that Baron key is going to be a place he has to go and he has to find.
Yeah, and McBain left Yang up, so Yang got a good chunk of a nice slingshot of an XP there. So that was really helpful. That was like 225,000 XP for Yang right there from a base level.
Yeah, putting him in the square into the 30s, you don't need to keep that curse ring on him anymore. You can kind of put whoever you really want. And I was going to say, are we going to get a curse ring on Rosa? This was real close there, my friend. No, we see the the karate being swapped for the black belt. We see the Sid being put in the middle. Yeah, Sid, of this party, your best option.
Yeah, Sid, we have not found an ogre axe. We have not found a better hammer. We have not found a rune axe for Sid to wield. It makes perfect sense to put him there. He's got enough HP to sit through a big bang. So we're going to see more gold dragons killed. But Rhybon said, I'm not messing with that lunar sparkle. We're going in.
Yeah, like we said, we have Rhybon in face check mode. He's looking for A1 the boss, and I definitely foresee, especially with the fact that he has the only thing he's missing is an earth crystal. I foresee every boss being face checked. If nothing's here on the moon, then probably going to move towards the giant. And if nothing on the giant, then Zot won, because there is a 0 chance that he can't just find the boss by looking at it right now.
Absolutely.
Now, let's put yourself in Rhybon's shoes while he's going to be starting down. I'm pretty sure he's going to be going from top down from the way that he's checked so far. But put yourself in Rhybon's shoes. You have, say there's nothing on the moon. There's no other boss on the moon. And the Crystal Sword is the only one we don't know. Where is your next plan of attack? Where are you going exactly next, BK?
If I've been face checking and I did not get that earth crystal, it's got to be giant. There's 2 bosses there. You're almost Z ready. That elements fight, even if it's Golbez, is gonna get you. Oh man, even if it's Antlion there, is gonna get you Z ready. So I think that's the easiest and quickest check for Rhybon, because he can come out of the giant, just swag whale it over to Troya and walk right in.
Yeah, and we do have the Bahamut there, check there. Quick reset out. Yeah, this is face check at its finest. Answer a question in chat. Earth Crystal, it was behind a Yang at the Ribbon Room. So you're kind of like letting it sit there for a bit if you're any other runner, because again, one boss, this is all you need. And with the time as low as it is, 1 hour 12 minutes, and the levels that he has, you're kind of just like, no, we're just doing this. If Rhybon, I'd be so tempted to just go to the middle out, but I think you still go complete top down, and you do go Crystal Sword. And if that's not there, then we know that this moon is key item has key items, but is haunted boss wise.
Oh yeah, and if there's any key item check that Rhybon is gonna do on this moon, if that Crystal Sword does not have the boss we're looking for, it will probably be the Ribbon Room.
Yeah, I mean, you're going there for some more XP. I think he has more than enough levels. I need to double check his HP when he gets into battle again. But this is a team, and these are the power levels where you kind of look and just go, yeah, we're good.
Yeah, wanting 65k of Antlion with another, 30k of Golbez right behind it.
I mean, I'm here for that level of chaos. Looks like Rhybon, however, does not care what's on that Crystal Sword altar, so not the full top down, but the nice thing is McBain is right there, so we're going to get the check regardless.
Nothing but chaos. Zeromus is the embodiment of chaos, right?
I thought it was the embodiment of pure malice in people's heart.
Details?
Fair. Yeah, looking at these levels here, don't think McBain is gonna care about whatever XP we have here. And Rhybon, let's take a quick look at his when we get into a fight. Is not gonna grab any. 100%. And that's more vanilla we have here. Perfect. Moon, haunted for bosses. Where are you going? Where are you gonna go next?
Man. The question is, so Rhybon reset out of the karate. Even if it's the dirty double in Zot, Rhybon doesn't need that earth crystal.
No, that's his only saving grace right now, is the fact that Zot is 100% gonna be giving you nothing. Gonna be, if it's dirty double, no key item required. You have, I really want to see someone check the package. I really want to see the boss that's just been like kind of hiding in plain sight forever.
Yeah, and McBain is probably heading to Zot. Maybe.
Looks like that's Zot.
All right, Rhybon. You also are about to see this blarg and have to make a decision. Do you start killing some of these bosses, or are you gonna continue the face check?
Again, without that, he has the Baron key, and yeah, with that Baron key and with access to everything but Zot, I think you still just say no. You know what? If that Earth again, if the Earth Crystal has something, that's it. It doesn't matter. You're just gonna go and do anywhere else.
Yup, and we're about to see where is Rhybon gonna go. Exit is cast. Gonna hit the. Is he gonna Zot one it? Is he gonna package? Is it giant?
Giant.
Giant. There it
Hey,
is.
there you go. Yeah, I agree with this because you're kind of looking at one of the two bosses. You could even just say, hey, is this one boss going to be what I need? If the answer is no, then you just sit through this cutscene again, you go back down to the blue planet and you go and look. But yeah, this is, and here's the moment of truth. We're going to get another boss check. McBain, survey says that's
Oh, that's plague, I believe, or pale.
Plague or Pale Dim. And there's Pale Dim. Yeah, 9,000 HP just on this one little slow dragon. Quite literally. Bloop, 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 bloop.
All right, we will see though. Is the Earth Crystal having one of our bosses? Will the giant give us the good?
I'm 100% here for the giant giving us the other half of the dirty double, just because I love bosses being hidden on here. No one likes going until it's far too late, even if you've got the power to go. It's like, no, 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 this isn't important. We can deal with this later. I love the places where it's like, it shouldn't be here, but I'm going to check it anyways.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is like, do you just look at the first one, or do you depending on who's there? I mean, we do still have a few bosses at elements, and Rhybon didn't even save. He saved outside up on the moon.
Oh yeah, 100% agree, because it's either this is something that's required or free, for example.
Wow.
And yeah, it's you kind of look at this and go, okay, cool, excellent, get out of here. And you just say, nope, we're good, and
This
go to
is
the
the
next
grind.
fight.
This is 100%. Yep. Coffin, as many lives as you can.
Now, the XP that Rhybon has, he's got more than enough XP. Porum's the only one who's, quote, questionable here. Aside from that, you just don't even care. You're not here for this.
She will not be questionable after this fight. That Rydia won't be either.
Nope. She's going to get some more levels, but again, Cursed Ring, you don't care about her getting some more levels. She's more than good enough at this point. But we do have one boss required here to Antlion, so that means that we have to find Golbez somewhere else. Golbez is either
Edge or here.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
I am 100% for him being at package, by the way.
Please
I want him to be there.
Please be Luge.
No, I want this to be not Pale Dim, Plague.
Oh, yeah.
Luge, good call.
Oh, where's Rhybon gonna go now? Because he's got
it's package. It's 100% package.
100% package.
Shit.
But
I'm gonna give a big shout out to Oscar, who unfortunately was having a little bit of computer issues. Come from the back, I got 100% here. Check the package.
Oh, Rhybon, check the package. Don't go to the Fey March.
And McBain, yeah, when he gets that Baron key, when he does look at this is a race now. Like, we had Rhybon very, very much in the driver's seat of the fact of, like, he had the power, he's just blitzing through these checks, and he's just got so much there. But now this is a point where honestly McBain is kind of in the driver's seat now, because it's like, when does Rhybon go back underground? This is the landscape of this has now gone from commanding lead to honestly back neck and neck. We were talking about this earlier, lockstep, and it's here.
Yeah, and it looks like McBain is going, so has to get through Sealed Cave, has to get through Baron before Rhybon goes to package.
Yeah, and at this point, like, when do you think as a runner, like, okay, do I go and check package versus okay, we're back up on the moon and killing these bosses? Like
I,
for you, BK, do you check package first before you go back to the moon, or what's your thought?
since I did not kill any bosses, if I'm Rhybon, I did not kill any bosses. You check that package. You have committed to last locationing Zot2 at this point and saying we are checking bosses right in the face. If the next check is not package, I would honestly be surprised.
But even with the fact that you have Fey March, you have the bottom of the Baron throne. Like you got three bosses that are just looking at you before you even check that package, and it's a long check. It's short by comparison, but no. And you know what? No, he's playing to the seed roller. Answer question in chat. Yes, Rhybon just has package and Zot 2 left.
Yeah, so this has got to be Golbez, unless we've missed a spot.
And this is entertaining. We have both brothers choosing violence in Mist and Kaipo. We have the Dark Knight Cecil burning down Mist, which, I mean, that's very appropriate. And we have Golbez, who's going to be behind this fight here in Kaipo Inn. So it's the brothers from the moon that are taking care and taking it out right here. And I'm super here with this. But we do have the fact that McBain does have this Baron key the pan in hand to go get this Baron key. So it's still like you're still going
Very
through
close,
this.
yeah.
Yeah. This is gonna be a trek, and it's gonna be very curious to see who gets there faster.
And McBain is gonna beeline to Baron, knowing that it's Valvalis to start off. So that is going to be the next check. The question will be is if McBain checks the Odin throne first. I don't think so. I think you go right into that throne fight, but we don't know.
Yeah, it's
man, my heart can't take this death.
You know what? You'll just be like me, and you'll take care of that, no problem. And you just accept how things go. But this is just a foot race for McBain to get caught up now. Like the fact that Rhybon went and checked this package immediately is really big.
Here we go. Putting the piggy into sleep. And Giggles himself will be appearing shortly.
And the best part about the fact that he's the one that's here, you can't even set your party up properly for this. You just have to sit here and wait.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is like that's been there. The package was one of the first key items that we got.
Yep. Remember when I said go check? We should check the package for boss. Way back when?
I do. Ordeals. Thank you, Escron, our tracker, pointed out that the package was from Ordeals, and that was
like
10 minutes into the seed.
Yeah, I remember saying like we're about 9 minutes into the seed. We've got Ordeals done. Do you go get that package and get that completely knocked out of your thoughts? Apparently, the answer is we come back about 20 minutes later and deal with it.
Yeah, and if it had not been Golbez, so that you know, or any of the required bosses, you would have felt really, really behind doing it. But yeah, McBain doing the right thing. Forgot that it was the pan that you got, so has to do the Sheila checks too.
Yeah, more along with the lines of you have to make sure you follow your key items and. No, as said in chat by our restreamer Scala, lesson learned, listen to Dathis. No, lesson learned, follow what the memes, where the memes take you. If you have a restreamer that loves to give you memes, you follow what they give you. Asuka, a very person who rolled this, fantastic memer in herself. In fact, I will say that I'm probably one of the more prolific ones personally, and she blows me out of the water with some of the stuff she's done. We do have, again, yet another memer in Scala Kitty who I was wondering if you were going to jump on mic and say, excuse me, but no, you are absolutely fantastic yourself too. The entirety of the Restream team, We all love our memes. We all love showing off the runners here too. But speaking of showing off, we have Rhybon 1 hour 25 minutes getting that crystal, and that's going to be a beeline to Z.
Immediately. Do not pass go. Do not collect 200 more kill. This is hop right into that. Show him the pass, saying I belong here, and in it.
Yeah, and this is where it's like, barring a wipe, like a very bad combo platter for Rhybon, this is unfortunate because we're seeing one person go on. We're gonna see possibly one person fall down into the waning brackets. So McBain not quite done, but the important thing is we have something that's slightly more important going on. BK, we got some flags with the letter Z on it. We're going up to the moon through this really weird teleporter. What's going on?
You show the pass at the bar. They let you in the back room. It transports you back to the moon, strangely enough. And here you are with this big hairy guy in front of you. Throw the crystal on it, reveals his true nature. We don't know if it has a hat. We don't know if it's cute. All that we know is that we are going to kick it right in the rear. No, it will not help you with your 401k.
I really hope not. I'm 100% here though to see what we maybe, who knows? Voice of Scholar. Wait, are there any Z sprites that can help me with my 401k? This is true, but as long as cookies are afoot, I will accept everything that happens.
Here we go. The butt has been revealed, and it is. Oh no.
It's Lord Frieza, yes.
Oh no.
I am a big fan of Dragon Ball Z. This is Frieza's final form, well, final in the original Dragon Ball Z, before the power up and everything, and then now we get Golden Frieza and all that shenanigans. But this is the Frieza that we fight before we have Super Saiyan. We don't have Super Saiyan, we have Super Sasuke Blade, which might as well be doing damage of a crystal sword.
I have a question, Scala. Is this from the fighting game from SNES? Is that where this sprite is from? It really looks like Hyperdimension Design.
Also, you know what? This one might be able to help you with the 401k. It's, again, really good with real estate. Knows how to take over planets and, you know, doesn't afraid of anything.
You don't need a 401k if you're just going to blow the planet up.
There are other planets that that Frieza didn't blow up and took care of it, like Frieza Planet 419.
Yeah, but Frieza didn't need a 401k. Literally said, give that thing to me.
Even he has to have a retirement plan.
I don't think so. I think Frieza's just be like, listen, I'm gonna live forever. That's why Frieza wants Dragon Balls.
But he didn't have immortality at that time.
That's another good point from Scala Kitty. That 401k will not transfer off planet.
It's kind of true, actually.
It's the same place that we could transfer our free enterprise gil into real money.
I could use some real money right about now.
Who wouldn't?
Frieza, because it's getting its butt kicked right now.
Oh yeah, lots of reflected whites coming out. Ninja Sasuke Edge slicing and dicing. McBain, however, is about to get his crystal.
Yep, we do have the entirety of Baron completed. That's the 7 objectives. Not going to find where that Golbez is, even though there will probably be discussion in the post-race room about this, because this is a fight that's done very methodically by Rhybon here, even throwing an elixir on little Porum, making sure that even she doesn't die. This is super good. I love seeing everyone up. Even little Rydia, who's got Ice 3, is helping out and doing some damage and keeping standing.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just, every little bit helps, especially if you are not making mistakes of certain runners in this booth where you don't count the HP. That's the lesson you learn from
Counting?
bad karma. You got to count.
Who counts HP?
Winners.
I haven't counted HP yet.
Touche.
Look, counting's hard when you can just use bruisers to beat everything up, okay?
That's right.
I'm not here for math. I'm here just to watch the numbers go burr. Speaking of burr, another Big Bang comes out. Was nerfed by the crystal.
Oh, but Edge was not healed for that.
Nope. And takes just enough to put him down. And yeah, I see some life pots and some cure 4s coming out in the near future because we should be getting I think this is a black hole Big Bang.
Yeah, we're definitely in a phase 2 as well. So yeah, Yang is going to be unberserked. Got to get the fight renormalized. Meanwhile, though, not far behind, McBain coming into the Z fight is probably going to need a Rhybon wipe here to make it a chance, but anything can happen.
Oh yeah, as I said, combo plattering is a thing, and that's not exactly what you ever want to see happen.
Not from Lord Frieza, no.
What would a combo platter from Lord Frieza be? Would Big Bang into Media would be the equivalent of what from Frieza?
It'd probably be that Destructo Disc into Planet Killer, like, or vice versa.
Also, can I say that he uses Destructo Disc, which he stole from Krillin?
Right. There's the rocks, though, for Rhybon. Oh no. Is he gonna get enough out of this?
I mean, nope. And there it is.
There it
There's
is.
the crash bang. That is the dead Zemus. That is Rhybon going 2-0 here with an official time of, I believe that was 1 hour, 31 minutes, and 55 seconds, 54, 55 seconds. GG's to Rhybon. Gonna be moving on to the next round and taking a well-earned win from McBain. Again, both runners, like, we're here a couple of minutes apart, and McBain, we finished one Z fight and we're right in the middle of another. So the runners at one point between 7 seconds apart to this difference. We're gonna see if we can't get Rhybon, our victor, in for an interview very shortly.
Absolutely, and as we said, we do have McBain, and we're joined by Rhybon. GG's.
Hey, thanks. what a heck of a scene, huh?
That was a seed.
Yeah. I'm not really sure what to say about it other than, why is the moon haunted? Why is the giant haunted? There's 8 boss checks up there. Where's the boss of that?
So the moon had the Earth crystal that led to the other boss.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
Sure did.
Is that totally haunted then?
I mean, kind of. By that point, by the time I went to the moon, I had 6 bosses already done. I had every gating key item except for the Earth Crystal, so I knew I was in Go mode. It just seems so likely that Go mode would be on the moon, on the giant. Whiff, keep on whiffing. How about the Rex banner? No, not there. Of course it's at the package.
I mean, again, look at who rolled your seed. What does Asuka say every time?
Heck and puff.
That too, and check your package. But yeah, so let's go back to a little bit some of the questions that I personally have about the seed. So we're going in, we're underground. We have double mute knife Edge, who managed to dart a couple of defense swords to get rid of that evil wall and a half that both you and McBain took a couple of nasty wipes on. So we're underground. What led you to A, doing the forge, which McBain didn't do, and B, going and shopping for weapons for him as opposed to maybe looting them?
Now you'll have to help me remember. I got the second half of Forge Underground, but was that in Feymarch?
Feymarch.
That was Feymarch freebie, yes.
Yeah, I think I will normally forge if it's relatively early in the seed. And in this case it was. I mean, there are a number of people who say that forge normally, at least on Red Moon flags, ends up being something for Edge. It could be scrap, it could be, a throwing weapon. But tonight it ended up being something very useful. I'm glad I checked. Also, it unlocks that awesome shop that, now that I think of, I completely forgot to go back to and buy a couple of Zeus gauntlets for my melee fighters. So, whoops on that part. But yeah, I was a little bummed after checking Tomra. I was able to afford one ninja sword, not a second one. but Forge kind of bailed me out on that front.
Yeah, we were discussing that exact thing, is when do you stop looting? And I said is when you find ninja swords for sale and you check to see if you have enough money.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I was looting a whole lot throughout that entire season. Well, not that much. I think I looted a total of 44 chests, which isn't too bad, but it did feel like I was looting quite a bit. Yeah, because, Bacchus would be available, Sirens would be available. I wanted that stuff. I'm not sure if Bacchus actually was available on the moon. I forgot to check.
They
But
were, as a matter of fact.
Oh, jeez. That would have been kind of useful, but at least I had 2 Berserk casters, so that's nice. But yeah, if I'm going, with the party layout that I had tonight, anchor Rydia, I didn't have to anchor her, but I didn't have a great grind for her either. So I ended up anchoring her instead, and pretty much left me with just, the Yang and Ed show with a couple of backup white mage dancers. And that requires some money.
Yeah, so that's the question. We have 2 white mages. You kept both of them. In fact, you and McBain both kept your white mages. Was there ever a point that you thought, okay, let's maybe go with pure, more reflex strats on Z as opposed to the hybrid, the count a little bit of damage and do that? Or was there ever a point where you thought, well, maybe we'll just go reflect and kind of let Edge just stand there and look pretty? He did all the heavy lifting. Now he gets to just kind of be an HP sponge.
Yeah, there wasn't too much thought of going full reflect, because by the time I was ready to do my grind, I was 1 boss away from go mode, and I didn't want to invest the additional time to do, I think, maybe 3 more packs of gold dragons in order to get Rydia to nuke. Plus, I had that Sasuke, I had a ninja sword. I figured, well, Edge is going to do pretty decent damage, doing about 4 to 5k a round, which is, I guess, ultimately pretty decent damage. So yeah, I wasn't too unhappy with my choice, but if that Sasuke didn't appear, if ninja swords weren't available, if I was just rocking, Naked Yang and Mute Edge, I definitely would have thought twice about keeping Rydia up, grinding a couple more to get Porum to white, because at the end I only had 1 white caster, and it didn't feel like it was the right play to grind them more, because I can do some Zerg strats if I need to.
No, and that's a fair thought. And while we're talking, we have McBain getting through rocks. We have Crack Bang and him also crumbling. That is 137.21. And again, handed him a time where you guys were 7 seconds apart going underground to 6 minutes ish apart. And just, again, the little bit of power that you managed to find versus everything else, I think was the only main deciding factor. You guys kind of did checks in mostly the same order. But yeah, with the seed done, and you are now 2-0 in this best of 3, you get to move on to the next round, and we have McBain going down into the waning bracket. You guys may see each other later on. That is a possibility. What are your thoughts about, maybe seeing McBain later on, or about your next round? How are you feeling?
I don't want to see McBain later on. I mean, I love playing McBain. I played him in Adamant Cup. I played him this tournament. I play him on the ladder quite often. He's an extremely good runner, and I just got very lucky this series because he could, wipe the floor with me at any given time. I'm almost sad that this series is over, because I did kind of want a game 3, because, I just love playing the guy. And I know he's going to be a terror when he gets matched up against whoever it's going to be. I'm looking at the bracket now, and I think it might be, well, actually it's kind of hard to say who it's going to be right now. So never mind, I won't speculate on that, but whoever does match up against McBain in the waning bracket has their work cut out for them. He is extremely good, as he proved tonight, and as he proved on Tuesday evening as well.
Absolutely. And you know what? We thank you very much for letting us have you on Restream, and for putting on one heck of a show. Fantastic gone in the quarterfinals. We excited to see you in the semis, either between Woo Bear or Pyre, both who are going to be doing their game 2, I think later on, or has already happened?
I think they have their game 1 this evening, but game 2 should be Friday or Saturday, I believe. Friday.
Excellent. And then we'll see if they have to go to a game 3, and you see who you get to go against. Of those 2, who are you most wanting to go up against?
I am most afraid of Pyre. Pyre is probably the person I've played almost the most on the ladder, and I think all time I'm like 1-12 against him. Pyre is my kryptonite, and well, it'd be nice to get that skeleton off my back, or get that thing off me. But I'm a little afraid of. I'm actually a lot afraid of Pyre. Help.
BK, do you have any last questions before we swap out our interviewees?
I do not. Thank you for a very well run, Rhybon. You did excellent, and look forward to seeing you as you move forward.
Absolutely. BK, Dazzit, thanks for the comms as usual. Sure, it'll be fantastic. Grunt for pressing all the buttons. Scala and Asuka both for double teaming this restream. Again, GG to McBain. Love playing him. And see y'all next time.
GG's again.
Yeah, again, that was Rhybon. GG's for a fantastically well-run race. 1 hour, 31 minutes, 54 seconds for your finishing time here. And we are going to see just when we can get Roger McBain in, because again, that was a race I don't want to pick. And as I say it, so speaketh he doth appear. McBain, GG's on that well-run race.
Thank you.
How you feeling about that seat overall? It was something from the booth, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, lots of regrets, I would say, but yeah, it was something.
From our standpoint, I'm not sure what you had regrets with. I mean, it was still really well run, with the routing and the decision making. It was I did not see, other than that evil wall, really anything that kind of gave you really any pause.
Yeah, well, for me, I never ever do twin harp, so doing it early and it was nothing. At that point, I thought, oh, Rhybon's not coming here. Well, that's what I have felt, and I was like, oh, now I'm behind. So I just went and I got nervous, I guess, and on that evil wall, it kept doing bad setups to ensure edge to survive and darts the defense swords.
Yeah, and I don't know how much you and Rhybon got to talk, but you guys were 7 seconds apart getting through that hook route, going into underground. Rhybon also did the harp as well, and honestly, I think it would be very difficult to get through that evil wall without the 2 defense swords that you guys had.
Yeah, that's true. It would have been something else, maybe more shenanigans or something.
So one of the questions that I would have for you, you got the darkness crystal right out of the tower. We did see a little bit of indecision. Was that, do I do Sheila 1? Do I check Luca, or do I go to, was that where some of the airship movement was from?
Yeah, it was mostly was the Luca key, because it's a boss and a key item. Sheila 1 I don't really care for because there's no boss. So that was really more that. And I was at 9 key item. I was like, maybe I can slingshot Yang a little, change, because I still didn't have a weapon for Sid, so he was pretty useless. And so I thought maybe I can risk getting Yang and finding an easy key item on the moon and grind from there. And if there's nothing, just come back and do the Luca key. Of course, I found the Earth Crystal first, or I wanted the Baron key, of course.
Yeah, and that was definitely one of the main differences at that moment. Again, you, Rhybon, were still very neck and neck there. And it was, you went moon and Rhybon did the Luca check. And you guys still are, this close on a race like this. It's still, you need to pat yourself on the back. This was still very well run.
Yeah, thank you. If I didn't have the pass, I would have checked Luca first, but that pass, it makes you do things sometimes. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad.
I don't think it was bad. Like I said, with what you had, you did good, and you should be proud. And you're not out. You're now moving down into the waning bracket. How are you feeling about moving forward in that?
It's gonna be fun. There's a lot of pretty good players down there too, So it's no fluke in this tournament. Everyone's really good.
Yeah, that is one thing that's been really exciting to watch, is how close all these matches have been, throughout multiple races, and how even keeled this flag set has really made anything. It can be anybody's game.
Yeah, it's a flag set. At first I didn't think I would enjoy this flag set as much as I do right now. I was like, oh, this is gonna be different, so not bad. But once I started this, it's my favorite so far. It's really fun.
That's always great to hear, especially I personally I've been really enjoying the Red Moon flag set as well. And there's a chance, hey, if I could catch up to you in the bracket somewhere.
Let's hope so.
That's all I have for McBain. Dathis, do you have anything else?
I think you put it better than I could, so I have nothing else. Again, thank you very much, Roger. It was fantastic watching you go through.
Hey guys, I can't wait to watch this again. I'm sure the commentary was great as always.
I mean,
You have
it's great.
BK on comms. It's
Above
always
average?
great.
Hey, it's me and Dathis. It's you get what you get.
Okay. It's better than nothing.
Well, thank you, GG's once again. Excellently run, and look forward to seeing more of you.
Thank you.
And that was
Again. Nope, after you, sir.
I was gonna say that was our second place runner, McBain, coming in at 1 hour 37 minutes 21 seconds. Is moving on to the winning bracket, but still in it. But we're not done with Free Enterprise tonight, are we, Dathis?
Oh, absolutely not. We are headed off to Freen Prime to do a race in progress. But before we go and talk about the race in progress, I want to talk about some of the matches we have going on tomorrow. We have Tana versus E-Ninja at 1 p.m. tomorrow on Friday. Followed by that, a few hours later, Woo Bear versus Pyre, one of the game 2, as we were just mentioning, at 7 p.m. on Freen 2. Then we have Freen 3 with Poidrak versus Moleboy at 8 o'clock. Apex Corvid, Y2 Sky at 10 p.m. on Freen 2. We also have Freen 3 being reused later on for Scratch Dragon versus Mike 34. And at 9 p.m., we also have Freen Prime, Decker Smash versus Solaris. Tomorrow is jam-packed with races, so you guys definitely have to go and check some of those out. Whereas right now, the only place we're going to be going is, again, Freen Prime, so we can have Couch versus Virak. So y'all stay tuned, and keep yourselves here for the last bit of our Free Enterprise races for the day. Again, thank you very much once more for Scholar Kitty for jumping in for Asuka. We have Esgrunt doing our tracking, and BK once more for sharing the booth. Party on, my dude.
Party on, Dathis. As always, it is a great time to share the booth with you, and we'll see everybody over at Free Enterprise.